My life is going badly.
It's like the most fucked up
Fuck
thing.
you, 2016.
Hello, everybody. I'm Mike Glazer here with head writer of the nighttime show, Matt Walker. Our guest today, the star of Big Time Rush and lead singer of HEFFRON Drive, Kendall Schmidt. And your host, you know him as 2 parts milk, 1 part cheese, and 3-part farts, your host, Stephen Kramer Glickman.
Yeah!
Boom, 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 boom.
All right. Who? What band is that? What band are we?
Is that Ex Mortis?
That's Ex Mortis, I believe, right?
The
Is that
great Ex Mortis.
Yeah.
Dynamite
Oh
band.
man, I do.
For
love
anyone
those
listening,
guys.
there's not a crowd in here.
Yeah, no, it's just us. It's just us. We're hanging out with Kendall. Kendall, we've been trying to get you to come down here.
Yeah.
We've been doing the podcast almost a year, and for like a good year, we've been like, well, maybe there's some time. But you're always you're always touring.
Yeah.
You're always out there in the world.
Must have missed those emails.
Yeah, no. but thank you so much for making the time to do
It
this.
has to do with the filter, the send to junk mail folder.
Yeah,
filter.
tell me about
That
it.
went
Just
straight to spam.
Glickman just goes straight to junk. I gotta, before we really get down into this, you and I have known each other since like basically the beginning of that show, which
Yeah.
I feel like is
Almost.
Yeah, almost like
Because he was the last one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because we had done an original pilot before you'd come to the show, and then they were like, "Wow, this is great," except for that lead guy.
Yeah.
Get rid of him, and then let's find someone right for this. We're gonna find like
Oh my God.
the right guy. And they were like, I was like, "How long will that take?" And they were like, "I don't know, a few months." And it was a year,
Oh
a
my
year
gosh.
of searching, and
It's hard to find. I'm not just
hard
gonna
to find.
stop.
Hard to find a
find
star of a show. I mean, that's no joke, man. Like
Kendall spent the year growing out his eyebrows. And
Look,
then he was-
yeah, and it was difficult. Actually, this is really easy for me. It takes me no effort. I have to say though that show has been unbelievable. And can you believe the fact that we've known each other now for was it 7 years or
7
something like
years?
that? Yeah, I
Something
know.
crazy like that?
Oh my god!
It's ridiculous.
Think about the music that was coming out in culture when Big Time Rush was first starting.
What-
I mean, like
what was
I'm trying to
happening?
think. Like it was 2008. What would have been
2008.
2008?
What would have been the big hits of
I'll do the
2008?
research.
Yeah, let's look
Ooh,
up the
this'll be
hits
fun.
of
Look up
2008.
hits of 2008 and 2007.
Because
That would
think
be
about it, that
interesting.
just puts you in a little perspective. And people's clothes were still really stupid looking
Oh,
in
yeah.
2008.
And there were no boy bands
Yeah.
at that time.
Yeah.
All of that was dead.
Is this Missy Elliott? Are we talking like...
It. Ooh,
2000,
that's actually
You had Umbrella,
Umbrella.
Party Like a Rock Star,
Mm.
Shut Up and Drive, Crank That by Soulja Boy.
Sure.
Oh, of
my
course.
God.
That was
Hell
the
yeah.
beginning of the Nene.
This Is Why I'm
Thing.
Hot. Remember that?
Oh
Of
my
course.
God.
Yeah.
It almost makes you think, wow, music was horrible back then.
Yeah, I know it really was.
Shoddy
so-
featuring T-Pain.
Wow.
Oh, jeez.
The list goes on and
Shoddy
on.
like a memory in my heart. Right, something like that.
No, no, no,
I don't
no.
know.
No, that's replay.
No,
Like
that
my
is-
iPod stuck on replay.
Oh my God.
Like I've never been so happy to not know what any of these songs are.
No, I know, dude. This is how I first met Kendall. Is I go to I get a phone call from my manager, and he goes, "Stephen, you're not going to believe what happened. They found someone. The show's going to happen." And I was like, I was working when that happened. I was working at an oil factory that made perfumes for witches.
Yeah.
All right, that's where
Wait,
my
for witches?
that's
Yeah.
where my career was.
Like I sell them at Hot Topic.
Yeah. I was working that no. I was on the set of 41-Year-Old Virgin.
Yeah, except
that
no,
knocked
you
up.
were working that job until the week before you started filming the pilot for Big Time
Yeah,
Rush. I
that's
remember.
true. Yeah, but I was at Lacey Studios filming this horrible movie called The 41-Year-Old Virgin that knocked up Sarah Marshall and felt super bad about it with Brian Callen. It's a horrible movie, and we're in the middle of filming, and I got a call from my manager, and he was like, "Stephen, you're not going to believe what happened. They found a lead. They found a guy. Show's going into production. It's going to happen." And Scott Fellows gave me his phone number for you to call him because he wants you to come over to his house tonight to go meet the guy that they cast, and the whole cast is going to go over there. And I was like, "What?"
It was a
Like,
weird
what's-
night for me.
Oh my
bet.
God!
It was a weird night, yeah.
Yeah, and then I drove over and walked into his big old house, and there you were.
God, was I wearing one of those hats, like a fedora type?
I think so.
I was.
Nice.
Yes,
A
you
trilby.
might have been.
God forbid.
Why?
Yep.
I feel like I couldn't even pick clothes for something like that. So the fact that
What do you
made
wear
it
to
there,
go meet the people that you're going to be working with, possibly for the next 4 or 5 years?
Yeah, that is what a.
I was going to go naked.
It's like the first
that
day
would
of high
break the
school.
ice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's crazy because I mean that literally that show completely changed everything about my entire life.
Yeah.
Like nothing about my life is the only thing that's similar between my life before that show and after that show
Your weight.
is Matt Walker. My
As
weight.
he slides
My
at the
weight!
same time.
You fucking bastard!
Isn't that funny?
That's why that's why he
why.
does the podcast. That's why we do this.
I was going to say your bank account.
My bank account. Oh, that's true too, sort of. Walk us through how, on your side of it, how did this happen? How did it go from? Because I know that you'd worked a bunch.
You know the story.
Yeah, but-
I know.
but-
Just kidding.
But tell them the story.
Oh, I'll tell.
and,
Well,
and feel free to make it as crazy as you want.
well, I'm just not even
Or
going to
as
look at him
true as you
anymore
want.
for the rest of
Yeah.
this,
Okay.
because I've already told him all these. No, the thing is it was an audition for a untitled boy band project, which I had gone on thousands of auditions since I was a kid for everything that you can think of that I was that age for at the time.
Right.
And I really didn't want to go because I didn't. Boy band project was like, of course I was 18 and I didn't have a job, and I was like thinking about turning down an audition, which is
Yeah,
crazy.
Of course. Yeah.
But
But you were already a musician. You were already
I was
a singer.
doing HEFFRON Drive. I
Yeah.
was doing that, and it was looking like, and this was MySpace days, it was picking up a lot of momentum on MySpace, and all my friends' bands were getting signed. So I was thinking, it's not guaranteed, but it's possible that this band could get big. But anyway, I went on the audition after my manager had convinced me to go, and there was an audition, a callback. Then I think they shot the show. This was the first time. Then they
Right.
shot the pilot. I heard nothing for like 9 months, a year, something like that.
Sure, yeah.
Then I had another audition, callback, and then I remember going to network and being miserably nervous, just
Sure.
horrible.
Yeah.
And I got told that I booked the show there, and I went and talked to some of the executives, and I was saying like, "Is it cool if I had a vacation booked in like 2 weeks to go to Boston? Is that cool? Like if I still do that?" And she goes, "Go on vacation. You're gonna need it." And I was like, all right, here we go. And then I remember coming home and like crying, thinking like, oh my God, my life has changed forever. Like my work ethic needs to change today.
Oh
Yeah.
my
You
God.
know? It was crazy.
Yeah, that's insanity. Yeah, like
And I was crying because I had to learn how to dance. So that was a bit of,
I was gonna say.
I was a little
scary.
upset.
Yeah, were you the young?
Apparently, Logan didn't ever cry about that.
No, or
just-
care.
You were the youngest, right?
Yeah. Well, but
you were 19.
At the time, I was 18, turning 19. I think my birthday was on set, probably the second or third episode. I don't know if you remember that.
That's like your second
in
birthday.
November.
Oh my
On set.
God.
Yeah.
That's a.
I was either it was either that. I thought I was gonna have to go get one of those real jobs, and I was freaked out about it. And then I found out after I booked it, and I like was working for a while. My mom was like, "Oh, by the way, we were thinking about like at least if you didn't book a show, like we were gonna help you like go to like music school or something." And I was like, "Well, I wish you would have told me that. Because it was an unbelievable amount of pressure."
Although, if they would have told
Right.
you that, do you think you would have?
Well,
had that sort of
would've
drive
gone,
to maybe
maybe I
get
would have
it.
gone to music school, but I probably would have turned down that audition.
Yeah.
Which, hey,
Wow.
but now I've had the music school of life,
Yeah.
and I didn't go to any formal education for music, and I produce all my own music myself.
You studied
so.
under the tutelage of Gustavo Rock.
And exactly,
What more could you ask for?
yeah. I
I
learned.
still love the people used to come up to you when the show was on the air, and they'd like hand you CDs and be like, "Hey, this is my kid's CD."
That still
Yeah,
happens.
it still happens, yeah.
People still send me messages through Facebook. I'm trying to be a music star.
You should take it for like. You should
Oh,
take
yeah.
like advantage of that and run with it.
Yeah.
For like a
Absolutely.
couple times and film it.
And-
I am
yeah,
absolutely making a fake Facebook account.
You should.
There is no
You
question.
should.
You should start Gustavo Rock's music
Music
or
school.
Gustavo Rock's record label.
Oh my God.
And legitimately sign people.
like go to LA to the LA business department and can create an actual like LLC and
Yes.
become a
Yes, and you should do stuff like Friday,
right. It's Friday.
like those kind of songs.
yeah, I could get away with that.
Dude, you are fantastic at piano, And this is one of those guys that spends so much time doing comedy.
Yeah.
And I get blown away by the fact he doesn't spend so much time playing like piano, which to me is like, I mean, look, you're funny, but piano is ridiculous. You know, it's like
that's very sweet.
You know, piano is crazy, and I wish I could learn it. You know.
Wow. We used to play on set together a lot. We was,
Just jamming?
Yeah, we would jam out because we were so fucking lucky. Like we'd show up. We had a music room in the fake recording studio on a sound stage at Paramount that had real speakers, real guitars on loan from Fender, and a real piano. And so we would jam out, and it would be like, you'd walk in sometimes during lunch, and it'd be like Kendall and Jordan Sparks, sitting at the piano and just screwing around together, and it was insane. It was insane.
A fun environment.
There was a lot of talent on that set.
I would just set up a bed and never leave. I'd be like, that's
well,
home.
I think
Well, they had beds
if
there,
you
too.
set up a bed and didn't leave, you might be forced out.
Yeah,
You think so?
Yeah.
I tried a few times. they would not let me. I slept in my dressing room a few times. I made
I
a
did
lot of
that.
mistakes
I
in
did
my
that.
dressing room.
Matt, I forgot to tell you, I last night I had a little fireball moment.
Another one?
Yeah, well, I've been having a lot of fun recently.
They're
and,
a lot of fun. They're great. I love the fireball.
They really are. They really are. Glazer, you know anything about this? About these fireball moments?
Oh, real fun time.
Oh, they're so great. What happens is when you drink Fireball whiskey, then things just get a little crazier. Like life just gets a little brighter and more exciting.
So where were you?
Well, I was at a Sportsman's Lodge. You know that place? The
used
old.
to do stand up on a patio
Oh God!
where you get heckled by buses driving by.
Yeah. So that's what happened is I was there and I was hanging out, just relaxing. I had a couple drinks, a couple of shots of Fireball, and I took a little wander around. I was doing a little wander into this little forest behind Sportsman's Lodge. Do you know
there's
there's
a forest back there?
Yeah, there's a forest over
You
there.
find so many weird forests in
Oh,
LA.
yeah, there's
It's
a lot of
amazing.
forest. There's a lot of greenery out here. And I'm wandering around through the forest. I'm having a nice little time. I have a bottle of Fireball with me, as per usual. And I'm walking around, and what do I see? But I saw a fairy.
Really?
Yeah, it was just floating there.
Did you talk to it? What happened?
Yeah, I was like, "Hey, are you real?"
I'm real. I'm just as real as you are.
Wow, you're so bright.
Oh, well, that's because I came from heaven.
Oh my gosh, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Is that where all fairies are from?
Well, we live everywhere. Some live in heaven, and some live in the United Arab Emirates.
Oh, I didn't realize that's where they live. That's so fascinating. Hey, so what are you doing out here in the forest? You having a good time?
Well, I came for you.
You did?
Yes,
Well-
I came with a message.
Oh, you did? What's the message?
Little Mr. Glickman hopping through the forest, scooping up the field mice and popping them on the head. You can't do that. Put down your fireball, time to sober up.
Oh, I love that song. Hey, would you like, hey, Fairy, would you like a shot of this Fireball whiskey?
Yeah.
All right, here you go. Try it out.
Oh, wow, that just goes right down.
Yeah, so do I. And then I made sweet, sweet love to that fairy in the woods. And it was the greatest experience of my life. Fireball whiskey. You never know what's going to happen. All right, let's get back to the show.
When you actually started filming, what was it like for you? Kind of getting in the swing of things and starting to work.
I had never booked a series regular part before, so I didn't know what was involved in that.
Yeah.
I remember going and doing like the camera test, which was like a makeup to see how your makeup looks on camera, and then they bleached my hair a little bit, like not a lot, but a little, to make it more blonde because of all the tall blonde and eyebrow jokes
Right. Sure.
that Scott had written, because you can't rewrite those.
Of course not.
And which I'm cool with, honestly. I think it's funny. But we did that stuff, and then we started filming, and you know how it was. It was like, I mean, you were working a lot, but they had us there
Oh yeah.
6 to 7 6 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Oh, no,
and
no,
then
it
it would
was
be 7
70-hour
a.m.
weeks.
to 8 p.m. and then
Yeah.
it was 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. every day. So it got crazy.
Oh yeah. Oh god. And you guys, like, I mean, my days on that set were long, but you guys' days on those sets were like, you guys were doing music videos.
Followed by, let's get them off set so they can jump in a car and go to the airport. And
Oh yeah. Oh, when we shot this Halloween episode, that is notoriously one of like those times where everything got really was when things were getting really crazy. Where like
it was too ambitious.
It was too ambitious
to film this episode.
Yeah, we shot at the Hollywood Forever Cemetery
All right.
from like 4 p.m. until 5 o'clock in the morning.
It's like sunrise, yeah.
Yeah, and then at 5 a.m, they had to leave the set after dancing all night in front of an audience in a cemetery in Halloween costumes.
In a werewolf outfit.
In a werewolf
You were a
outfit.
werewolf.
I was in a werewolf
Yeah,
outfit.
and they were transforming back and forth from like human to regular. So it was like it was
Holy
crazy, smoke and fire and all sorts of stuff. And then at 5 a.m, the 4 guys get into a car, are driven to the airport, put on a plane, flown to Vegas so that they can perform in Vegas the next afternoon or the next
Yeah, it was that
the
next day.
next day. And it was like you could see at that point that it was kind of starting to get like a little.
Yeah, that adds up after a while. I mean,
Yeah.
you've seen all the stuff with the Fifth Harmony girls. I don't know how much of the stuff about coming out about them is true, but I heard a leaked
I was just talking about that with
thing
them earlier
about
today.
a leaked little audio of one of the girls saying like, "Come on, you know how crazy this is. They work us and they work us, and it's like, you know, it's like slave labor. It's ridiculous." And she was like really upset.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
you know,
There
I
were
never,
lots of girls on Twitter tweeting about that on their devices made by slave labor in
Yeah.
China. About how they should free Fifth Harmony.
I know.
Very important.
So ridiculous. I don't even know that I want to finish my thought after you just said that.
No,
honestly,
honestly, it's fine.
It just makes me. It just, you know what it is like, I think people don't realize how easy you can run someone into the ground.
Yeah.
It is a lot of work.
Even with nice clothes and buying them stuff and making them feel like they're super famous and successful, which, by the way, they really do a lot of that, where they make you feel way more famous than you are.
Right.
So that it kind of goes to your head.
Sure.
So it's like, you know, it's kind of tricky. And there was times where we were dealing with a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, and they're but that's the thing is like as a human being, they can only push. So you're just a person. Like they only can push you so much, and I completely understand the.
It's really first world problems. I don't want to make it
yeah.
sound like I'm complaining.
No,
but,
No, of
you
course
know.
not.
But as somebody who like
no.
watched
And Matt's
people,
just an asshole. That's
Yeah.
just
This
what
is
he-
true.
It's just what he does.
super sharp,
I know this.
The only friend of mine ever to be banned from the set of Big Time Rush.
which I mean,
Now,
that's
I have a
a
question for you.
feat.
When you started, you filmed, what, 4 or 5 episodes before it hit the air? Like, how many did you have in the
We
can?
were on 6. I think we were on episode 6.
So you filmed like 6 episodes, and you really have no idea about what it's going to be
Yeah, they didn't
and turn
know.
into.
They had no idea.
And then that show hits the air, and then I think it was
number 1.
like number 1 right away, and then it was like a couple months later you did your first concert at the Citadel, right?
I was
for
there
Christmas.
for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And like that's the one where I remember you told me like you tried to park, and you're like, I got to park like a mile away from this place.
Yeah, I was like, what am I supposed to do?
And
I was like, I have to-
they wanted you. Didn't they want you to introduce us on stage or something? Didn't you intro us on stage?
Maybe.
I just remember those performances were painful because we were still learning. It was like a baby learning how to walk.
Oh,
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
It's like
Oh, yeah.
we're a boy band. What
Yeah,
is
you were
it?
Yeah.
trying to dance and
Dude, we were the furthest thing from like a traditional kind of. I mean, I don't know what's a traditional boy band, but like, you know, our dancing was like jumping.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And then
Your
someone would
choreographer
go,
was House of Pain.
Someone would
Yeah.
go, Logan, do a flip, and then he would do a backflip.
Yeah.
And they'd go, sweet, we finished another song.
So what was the moment?
Shit.
Like, is there a moment you have where like you're like, oh my god, this is really going to be like a big thing? Like, is there some moment when that really hits you?
When you were
Whoa,
knighted?
it was when I was knighted. Well, a similar thing. Meeting the president was like, you know, this band is popular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
Like,
president
holy
did you meet?
Obama.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Obama.
you
a couple
guys
times.
went to the White House.
Couple times.
Yeah, again, because with something like this, it's not a matter. I've been kind of experiencing a little of what this kind of type of thing is. There's levels of there's levels of this fame or excitement that happens where it's like the first one is, oh my god, I'm on a set on Paramount on the lot, I'm making a thing, this is amazing.
Beeping yourself in.
Yeah, you're beeping just using the card just to get it, and people, they start recognizing you. You're like, wow, my life is in a totally different place. Like, this is crazy. and then comes another level where
Yeah.
it's like, oh, we're on set, and the extras, like they have Bobby Lee shows up to do an episode, and it's like no big deal, and no one gives a shit about that he's even there, and you're like, it's fucking Bobby Lee. Like,
Yeah,
Bobby
we
Lee's
were all
a man.
freaking out.
We were excited, or like that, celebrities start showing up to the set to come meet you guys.
Yeah.
That's a weird level. And
Yeah.
then like when Dave Keckner showed up from Anchorman to come meet the cast
That was
and bring
cool.
all of his kids and everything.
Nice guy.
And then it kind of takes the next step where they start using our show to launch other shows and have us be the lead in for other shows. And then, and then you guys on tour, and it starts going from like small venues or free venues where people can come for free to come see
The
you,
mall
like
tour.
like a mall
Yeah.
to jumping to like
Just hook it.
giant massive concerts,
Big amphitheaters. Yeah.
yeah, opening for Bieber. I mean, it's
Which Bieber?
ridiculous.
His dad.
Whoa!
His dad.
Oh my god,
Jeremy.
Jeremy Beats?
Jeremy
Who did
Beats.
you
That's so cool.
who did you guys get to open for when you were touring? Like, who were some of the people you?
Oh well, there's some interesting ones on the radio shows. We opened for Shaggy one time.
Wow.
In fact, Shaggy opens for himself. Maybe I shouldn't say that.
Oh my
Maybe
God.
I shouldn't say that. But he is his own hype man.
What?
Yeah, like when like there's no one on stage and you hear, "Ladies and gentlemen, you ready? Are you ready to see Shaggy? I want to hear like that."
Yeah.
Like,
No
That's him?
way.
That's him.
It's him doing it himself.
not in the voice.
Holy.
Like this. Are you guys ready to see Shaggy? And then
And then he comes on and does the
music
reggae
starts,
verse.
and then,
God.
like right as it comes out, and we're sitting on the side of the stage watching this happen. Like
That's awesome.
this is unbelievable. And that's that same show
What?
Vanilla Ice played.
Oh,
Nice.
That same
my
show.
God.
Yeah,
That's-
Big Time Rush, Shaggy,
Yeah.
Vanilla Ice.
So Vanilla Ice headlined. That
It
show.
was. It might not have been Vanilla Ice headlining, but then there was a show we played with one of the guys from New Kids on the Block, Jordan McKnight.
Right. Sure.
That we had some weird opening, but then Justin, of course, was a huge 70,000
Yeah,
70,000 people 2 nights in a
That's in
row.
Mexico City, right?
Yeah, Mexico City,
Unbelievable.
and
God.
that has never stopped for us. Like I still, that's my number one market still, Mexico City.
Mexico.
Oh yeah.
And that's where most of the fans in Latin America consist. For me, is Mexico City, and I think a lot of it stems from that first opening for Justin Bieber, because you have 70,000 people, eagerly waiting, and then you bring this new band from America, 4 guys, and it was just like from that moment on in Latin America, from that moment on, it was like huge.
How often do you go to Latin America to perform?
Every year.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
so
I've been to Mexico City now like 12 times or something like that.
Oh
I mean,
my
I can't
God.
remember. Yeah.
Now, what were your first? There was a lot of questions about this on Twitter, but what were your first impressions of some of the people that you worked with? Like,
Let's go down. You want to go down a list?
Let's go down
Yes.
the cast.
Ooh,
okay.
Because people had questions about everybody. I got about everybody. So we'll do a little thing. I'm going to take a walk down the cast list. Let's start with our dear friend and your bandmate James Maslow.
What did I think about him?
Yeah, when this first
First
started.
impressions of James Maslow.
Yeah.
Well, James has always been.
How about like first impression to what you ended up feeling about?
Well, let me tell you one thing that hasn't ever changed is his humor, and I think you know that.
Yes, absolutely.
His humor has always stayed the same, borderline vulgar, crossing the line
Oh,
every
yeah.
time.
Understood.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
always going over the line. So that's never changed, which I think is hilarious, and I think is needed in society. You need there always needs to be a guy who pushes the limits, because it's
Yeah,
funny.
he's pretty dirty.
And if it's not funny, it's not relevant, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, he's always been like that. He's definitely matured since then. And I think when he must have been 19. He was very pretty.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I
Oh,
mean,
gorgeous.
now he's a handsome, grown man.
Oh yeah.
But then he was very, very gorgeous.
Yeah,
And it was
yeah.
like, I think he had that kind of persona a little bit,
Oh,
right? And have a
sure.
little bit of, the Maslow walk.
Oh yeah. Oh, he had a walk.
He still
yeah?
got it.
This
He
is
still
a
got
very handsome gentleman.
Like, does
Yeah.
the world get out of his way?
Yeah,
as
yeah,
he
yeah.
walks?
No,
completely.
it's just like parting the oxygen.
Mhm.
yeah.
in front of
and
him.
and on top of it, he's Jewish.
Uh-huh.
And he's like one of the
So
prettiest.
great with money.
Yeah. Hysterical. But people would see him and they would be like, oh, look at this man. He's just so gorgeous. Like, look, I'll show you a picture of James.
I love that his last name's Maslow, so he's like
Maslow.
self-actualized in every
That's-
way
Yes.
possible.
That's him all the way on the. This is him right here.
That was when we met him.
Yeah.
Right?
Are you kidding me?
What do you want?
What do you want? What do you want more than that? That's a handsome. And now he looks like
Now he
like this.
just, now he looks especially.
Yeah. Now he looks like that. Now he looks like he could be a superhero or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
My favorite thing that ever happened is the first meeting I ever. Well, I've known James since we were
Long time, right?
Since he was like 13, 14 years old in San Diego, because we were family friends. Weirdly enough, of all weird places
Yeah.
to be. Weirdest thing ever though. The day that we had both been cast, and it was like 2 days after the first day of shooting with you. I went out for lunch with his father and him at a little restaurant nearby, and James is sitting there with me and his dad. And his dad goes, "Have you seen the body on my son? Look at this guy. Just show him your cheekbone. Look at the cheekbones. Look at this. Have you seen this kid? Look at he has a great ass. The whole body is just tore. It's just ripped. Look at this. Pull your shirt up. Show him your abs. Show him your abs, son." And James is like, "You want to see my abs?" Like showing, like just kind of like showing a little skin in the restaurant. I'm like, what is going on right now? Like, I know he's attractive. He's a good looking guy.
Think about how that
man.
father feels, right?
Oh,
Think
yeah.
about it as a father. You give birth to a kid, and then he grows up and he starts to look like that. You're thinking, I'm amazing, right? He because you
Like,
have
my
to feel like
sperm
that.
is magic.
Oh my god!
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's like think about the father of Brad Pitt. It's probably
Yeah.
like that's from me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no,
I did
I'm
that.
with you.
So
I get it.
I made that.
Yeah,
All right, Carlos Penavega.
high energy.
Yeah.
Great guy, very nice, very very nice, like overly nice, very
Sure.
nice and attentive, and I mean just super crazy, wild.
Do you know the first thing he ever said to Matt?
What?
This is a true story. This is Carlos.
Just
by
met
the
him.
way,
Like
just met
I was
him.
there when you guys were shooting the pilot.
okay.
There's a scene
This is a fact.
where there's a Minneapolis news van outside, and there's like the snow, right? And we're just standing there, and he looks at the van, and he's like, "Minneapolis? Is that a real place?"
And Matt goes, "Oh God."
He's very intellectual, Carlos Pena.
Minneapolis.
But he was.
But
I mean,
you know what? Just seriously
Yeah.
the nicest dude. And now, I mean, obviously, I'm sure you've probably talked about it, but a father.
a
You know,
father.
my brother's
Which is
been calling
crazy to
him.
think.
Well, here's what's crazy to me is that first episode we got Minneapolis. Okay.
Yeah.
Fourth season,
He's directing.
He's directing the show, and he's amazing at it. Like he is. Like he leaps and bounds from like
Yeah.
from like
Minneapolis directing baby.
yeah, that is outrageous. And then
And
well,
did he get an Emmy for that?
he got
Grease
an
thing?
Emmy for Grease,
Yeah.
and he was
Yeah.
amazing in
Holy
Grease.
cow.
Oh,
He was
I actually laughed like out loud a lot watching him because
Really?
partly because it's really funny to see your friend doing that, and then
Right.
also like he really got the comedy attitude of Kaneki down like
Oh yeah,
unbelievably. I was like really impressed, and
Yeah.
I mean not that I didn't think he was going to do a great job. Carlos is the kind of guy who always does a great
Oh,
job.
yeah, when he throws himself into something.
Yeah, he's not going to do something half-assed. That's
no,
for sure.
Yeah.
no way.
But yeah, my brother calls him Papa Penna now.
Have you seen that?
He'd be like, you talking about Papa Penna?
Have
I'm
you
like,
seen the baby yet?
I've seen pictures, but we're going to be going soon to
Yeah,
just check it out. I can't believe that.
it's outrageous. What about this guy, Logan Henderham?
Logan Henderham. Well, first of all, I knew him
Did you know him ahead
very
of time?
briefly because I knew his girlfriend at the time. And I had met because I knew his girlfriend growing up out here in Los Angeles, and then he came to a party that she was at, and this was like, oh, this is the new guy, right? And it was like, and then I met him just one time, and it was at this party, and I played music, and he sang to like me playing guitar, which was totally ironic. I was singing Maroon 5, just like jamming at this. It was actually Cody Lindley's party.
Oh my God.
And he was singing with me, and then I was at the boy band boot camp like final audition thing, and the boys walk in, and he's in the group. So I was like, oh, thank God, like at least someone that I've seen, in
Yeah.
person, because it's
Yeah.
a little nerve wracking to go into something like that where everybody knows each other,
Oh,
and
I can't
and you're the
imagine.
fucking new guy.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah. No, I completely.
So it was really nice, and he's always been, and now still to this day. I just saw him 3 days ago. He came over. We had a casual wine and burger night and sharing music.
Yeah. Now he's
yeah.
doing music now. When is his album going to come out? Because I know that's a question we get on
Well, I'm
Twitter.
not going to drop his deets because I don't think even he knows. But
Okay. 2017.
I will say, 2017 most likely. I mean, I would be blown away if it wasn't that. But I did hear the music.
Yeah.
What genre is it? Can you
It's
share that?
I would say it's grunge pop.
Ah.
Ooh,
I'm
If
interesting.
that makes, if that makes sense.
Yeah. It's kind of.
Very kind of like a lot of attitude.
All right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like him.
Crunchy.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
He's the nicest guy in the world, but he's got a lot of attitude.
He
Like,
does.
his own personal kind of like
Mhm.
essence is very, very attitude.
Yeah, he's one of those people that, like, everybody's kind of going like, what's next?
What
What's
is
going
his?
on?
Is he okay? And he's like, oh, I'm better than okay.
Yeah,
And you're
He's
like,
so-
what are you? What are
yeah.
you doing?
Every time I talk to him, he's either out of the country, flying, like hanging out on a beach somewhere, or he's working on music.
Look, he's the mysterious guy
he is very
for sure.
mysterious. Yeah.
Ask me about that guy Kendall. He's great,
Yeah. What about that guy Kendall?
fantastic.
Really,
Yeah.
just such a solid
Such
guy.
a nice
What do you think
Such
when
a
you first
sweet
met him?
Yeah.
Wow, he's ugly.
Me too.
What's the matter with you? What about? Damn it, Matt. What about Sierra Bravo? Now,
Just like a adorable, like I don't know, miniature person.
yeah,
She's giant now.
She's like tall,
yeah,
but
Well, still
still
thin.
somehow
Still-
looks so small.
I
Yeah.
know.
And
I
I'm not
know.
even saying like just this generally looks like it's like an
She got
optical
that-
illusion.
Dude, she got that Selena Gomez thing where she looks like a kid, and she's gonna
and
still
it'll be that way
look-
forever.
Yeah, and then it'll be like that'll kind of work itself out. But
You wanna hear
she's
a funny one?
She's gorgeous. Yeah.
So I well, along many other things, I helped her learn how to drive when she was getting her license. Of
Get
course. So
outta
talk
here.
about like we were growing up
Oh my God.
around somebody, and then like,
Not only playing the older brother, doing
then
the
actually
actual older
teaching
brother
her.
role. Yeah.
So I was taking her around Paramount, around Santa Monica and that, and now and recently, now she's 19, but I'll say a year and a half ago, I saw her at like a house party, and I had brought a bottle of wine to share with the people at the party,
Sure.
and she's like, "Oh, I'll have a glass,"
Uh,
and I was like, "Oh, okay," and I'm like, and I'm like, uncorking the bottle. I'm like,
Like,
this
this
is
feels wrong.
really strange. And so I'm like pouring. And by the way, she wasn't 21, but oh well,
Yeah.
give me a break.
Yeah.
So I'm like pouring her, and she's like takes a sip. She goes, "Wow, yeah, this is great. This is really." She goes, "This has a great like flavor profile." And I was like, "This is a $14 bottle of wine." Okay, like it was the weirdest thing going from teaching her how to drive to her telling me about the flavor profile of a wine.
Now it's a good thing that you taught her how to drive because if Glickman did, she wouldn't have a license. Right?
Yeah, 100% true.
If Glickman taught her, she'd have some sort of vanity plate on the back of
Yes.
her car saying something
By the
like,
way, my Gustavo
Katie Knight.
Rock plates are going away. They're
Why?
going away.
He's getting a Storks plate.
I got Storks plates.
oh,
That
yeah?
just says my mom got it for me
Oh,
without
she's
telling
so
me.
proud.
She went to the DMV and
I
paid
was waiting
for
for you
Storks
to say
plates.
because I'm making a change and it's time to grow up.
no way, man.
No.
It's time to
That's not
get
it.
Storks plates.
I was waiting for that. Oh man,
Oh
okay.
yeah, no, that's ridiculous.
Gustavo Rock. Oh man, you always knew where he
Does
was
it say,
in the parking
like,
lot.
You better believe it.
Does it say like P Toady? Is that what it says?
No, it just says Storks.
You'll still
You're
know.
kidding.
So
it's
great.
black plates
You know
with
what's-
yellow writing. That
You'll
say
still know where he is.
Storks.
Just look for the Mustang that's all beat up with a lot of dents in
With
it.
a lot of
That's-
dents in
The
it.
best part is that he also would put like not just Storks, but like director of Storks,
Right, of course.
even though it is not at all the director.
Not the director. I would put something weird.
Yeah.
That is a great bit.
You remember? I think you saw them. I got business cards while we were doing Big Time Rush, and the business cards said Dr. Stephen Kramer Glickman, PhD, DDS,
Yeah.
and then it had the law logo,
legal.
attorney at law. It said attorney at law underneath, and then it had the legal and the snake with the staff,
hospital.
the hospital one, and then it had all the information on it. If it was wrong, everything was wrong, and I got like 200 printed up, and I just walked around and gave them out to people.
Oh, that's
And then I had them put on checks. I had checks made where it said Dr. Stephen Kramer Glickman, and literally Chase was like, you can't do that. Like
Yeah,
that's against the
that's-
law. So I had to move to a different bank.
Question for you from Twitter.
Yes.
Molly O'Donnell wants to know if you will call her.
Up.
That's a no, right?
No.
I already told her it's a no.
What?
Don't worry about it.
You already told her it's a no. He's gonna ask me, put me on the spot
Yeah,
anyway.
it's a-
Thanks
it's
for
a-
throwing me under the bus, man.
I'm not going to make you call,
Maybe
call this
you
person.
should call her. Maybe
Maybe you should call
Yeah.
her.
Yeah,
I
Matt,
should call-
maybe
You
you
know
should
what?
call her.
The weird thing is she tweeted like you and me and Glickman and Teen Vogue and
Yeah,
17
saw
and just
that.
Jared.
You
It
know
says,
what was funny about
will
it? The way
Kendall
she
call
said
me
it is
and drops her phone number in there.
she almost made it seem like I was actually I missed a meeting to call her.
Right,
So, like,
yeah.
Kendall's going to call me.
Okay. Tell him to call me.
Yeah, but I just said no, you won't.
Tanya Chisholm.
Excellent.
Newly engaged, Tanya
Got
Chisholm.
engaged.
Yeah.
Can you believe that?
She's a romantic. It's only a
Yeah.
matter of time before she's going to get engaged. She was looking for a guy to like sweep her off her feet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Now, we had Joey Fatone on the show a couple weeks ago, and he talked about the moment when he discovered Lance Bass with a man straddling him. Were there ever any moments like that in Big Time Rush where you saw something
I discovered
surprising?
quite a few men straddling other men. No,
Did you ever walk in on anything happening or witness anything that you're like, oh, no?
I never walked. Let's put it this way: I never like walked in and saw anything, like But I know that I have walked by a room where maybe the room was occupied, and I knew that.
Yeah.
Sure.
You know what I
put a
mean?
tie on
But
the
I
doorknob.
definitely never like. Oh my like
My eyes!
Yeah,
My eyes!
That never happened.
my precious eyes!
That never happened.
Okay, now here's a real question. Is it a fact that when we went to go shoot Big Time Movie in Vancouver, that you guys played with a Ouija board and got scared and moved out of the hotel? Is that true?
That's a fact that my bandmates
Okay, your bandmates
played
got
with
scared.
the Ouija board and got scared
Who
and
got scared?
insisted on leaving the hotel.
Yes, and Victoria.
I'm
we
betting
were
it was Carlos.
Is it? Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's Carlos. Of
Hell
course.
yeah.
Yeah.
We were at the Empress Hotel, which is like a 120-year-old hotel. Some
Oh,
crazy
you
old
cannot
hotel.
mess with spirits
And
at a place
they
like
started
that.
doing Ouija board, and they got scared, and they had
Yeah.
to go stay at
Because
Holiday Inn
Parker
or something.
Brothers has the direct line to the spirit world.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you're over 8 years old, yes.
Yeah, it was dangerous. I knew. I just
It was so stupid. We did do little like ghost hunting. Like we went around the hotel at night with flashlights and like. That place,
Of course.
a real legitimate hotel, but it seemed like no one was there
Oh yeah.
and terrifying to stay in.
The photos I
bet.
saw of it looked kind of like the
Shining.
hotel from The
Terrifying
Shining.
it's
to
a
stay in. One of those
terrifying
where the
place to
rooms
stay in.
where the rooms are all different. You know what I mean? Because it wasn't built like that. You know, it
Yeah.
wasn't- yeah.
Did you see the
Mo-
twin girls saying, "Come play with
Yes.
us"?
Most
Come play
most
with us"?
hotels that have like hundreds of rooms in it usually have about 4 different style rooms, and that's a fact. And this place had 98 different kinds of rooms.
Oh,
So
no.
that doesn't feel good when you walk into
Knowing
a room
that
and
is this the room that someone died in? This is the room someone died. in.
someone died here. Someone
It's
died
just
in every room.
There's
Every room
a stain
somebody
on the
died.
ground, and you're like, it's always blood.
Yeah, it's a creep. It was creepy.
Yeah.
That was Have
you seen a ghost?
No, I haven't ever seen what I would perceive to be a ghost. No, I don't.
Ah,
I mean, like, I don't know. I mean, because
It's because they don't exist.
Okay.
That's why you haven't
have
seen a
I
ghost.
seen something? Have
All
I
right.
seen something?
Will you read my thesis, please? You have, but okay. I figured I'd ask. 'Cause
No, but you know what? Like, I am just so disappointed sometimes with how boring life is.
Yeah.
You know, because I want to see a ghost.
Yeah.
How boring is it that we can't see ghosts? We can't do magic. Aliens don't come and visit.
I know.
Like, this is bullshit.
It's
I want
bullshit.
excitement.
I
Yeah.
want some exciting
I don't
stuff
even
to
care if
happen.
it's like Independence Day when the aliens come and they're like, there's this big looming ship and like it's the end of the world. It would just be so damn exciting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be cool.
You know,
For a moment, that would be
for
really
a moment,
cool.
it'd be so cool.
Before we continue talking about ghosts and alien bullshit, I gotta listen. There are other people that were in this cast.
There
that
was?
if I don't get into talking about these people, we need some deep cuts here. This is some real stuff that
Okay.
you need to really talk about.
Yeah.
Aaron Sanders.
Aaron Sanders.
What was she like for you?
Well, Aaron, again, like nobody that you're gonna mention to me that I'm gonna be like horrible person.
No. These
They
are all
were
people.
all
These
great
are all
people.
people that I love. I'm not trying to get you to say anything bad.
Like,
I just
what
want
kind
you
of
to.
deep cuts are you talking about?
I'm talking about let's talk about Caitlin Tarver playing your girlfriend for like an extendedly long period of time. Did you guys spend a lot of time together, or like?
In fact, we spent no time together outside the show.
Really?
Zero. I mean, like literally, I can't think of a time that Caitlin and I hung out outside of the television show.
Wow.
And I'm not proud of it. I just don't know why. I can't think of why that.
well, you guys did
was.
spend a lot of time together on the show.
That had a lot, dude. Did we hang out with any of each other? Like really? Like we hung out sometimes,
you
but
and me hung out a couple times and had burgers, but
we
not
spent so
really.
much time. We
Yeah.
spent 12 hours a day together. It's like when you're done, you don't need to see them again. Like
Yeah,
you
no,
know,
that's
no.
true.
I actually never. I actually kind of feel bad about it. I
Do you
never
remember-
hung out with her one time outside the television show.
Well, give your phone number on there. Maybe she can call you.
Yeah,
She's
have
got
a-
it.
What about Savannah Jade?
Savannah Jade. Well, she was she always a Jennifer? Who was?
Oh no. Savannah was not. Oh Yeah.
She was the replacement
Savannah-
Jennifer, right?
No.
Yeah, no, it was Savannah, Denise, and Kelly Goss, right?
Denise.
Oh, yeah.
Denise. Kelly replaced Spencer Locke
Yes.
when she went to do Resident Evil,
Right.
and then the two other girls were there. Savannah's married.
What?
Yeah.
She made it.
Savannah Jade's married? So is
Yes.
Caitlin Tarver.
Yes.
Oh, my God. I'm
Everyone's
so
getting
old.
married. on
Everyone's
this
getting
show.
married. I just had that realization.
I know.
Challen
Yeah.
Cates is married.
Well, yeah.
Taunt,
She's been married.
Denise Taunt is still, she's killing it. She's out there.
Yeah,
doing
she's doing
stuff.
great. She's doing music, I think. Something
Yeah.
like
You see her in commercials all the time.
that. Yeah.
What about do you remember Tucker all breezy? Do you remember
I think
Tucker?
I saw pictures of him like recent. Like
He looks
of him-
exactly the same.
Yeah, just a more grown up
Just
version.
Adult, more grown up.
What a great kid too.
Oh, such a
And I
good
felt
guy.
so bad for him being there with us.
I know, we were just such a bunch of assholes, just running around
really
like a couple jackasses.
I felt bad for the guest stars because they always would end up leaving. They probably would go home and take a hot shower.
Yeah, probably. Now, do you remember when it comes to directors?
Who my
do you
favorite
remember-
or
who your favorites
Is
are?
Fred Savage still your favorite?
Fred Savage? Fred Savage. Fred Savage. I had a funny story, and by the way, I just want to say that I was messing with him when I said this, but there was a funny story when he was directing, where
One of the greatest.
so he was an interesting guy, right? I mean, he had when he was directing, I think maybe he just was so pissed off by
Look,
the fact that
Fred was an asshole when he
okay,
was on our set.
I'm trying to be nice.
You're nice. It's fine. Fred is I think Fred's a great guy.
He is a great guy.
I think he's a terrific director, but he did not enjoy doing our show.
Mm-hmm.
It was not his style of show.
So now I had a moment where I went maybe a little too far.
Well, it was amazing.
I had a Matt moment,
Oh,
right? So basically, he was being kind of aggressive all day with and so I was starting to get a little Scorpio on him, and starting to sting back a little.
Not to interrupt
Yeah.
you, but there's another side to this story, another piece of
There
this
was
story.
another. He got really upset at something, right?
Here's what happened. He had been it been 4 days of him directing the show, Fred Savage,
Which is
from the
hard
Wonder
enough.
Years. And he was not having a good time, and he wasn't getting along with the producers. They were kind of nitpicking him
Yeah.
and pushing all his buttons and
Over the shoulder.
Yeah. They were very like
Every director got to that point at some point.
yeah, but he was having a very hard time with it, and I came in on day 4, and he was like. I was so excited to work with him, and I sit down, and it comes time for him to do the scene with me, and I had 2 lines. My line was like, all right, dogs, line up, or something like this. And he goes, and action. I go, okay, dogs, line up. And he goes, no, again, do it, but good. And I go, okay, dogs, line up. And he goes, no, do it for real. Do it like you're like an actor, okay? And he starts yelling at me in front of the camera crew, and the camera crew all love me, and the guy and Kendall and the rest of the guys all love me, and they were sitting in
The rest of
Video
the guys
Village.
tolerated you.
Yeah.
Tolerated, right? But they were watching me, and I was kind of like the big dumb uncle around them for the most
Sure,
part.
sure.
They all kind of felt a little protective, and they watched him like berate me for a while, and it did not go well. And the scene ends, and they literally, the producers had to come over to Fred and go, all right, you got to stop. You got to stop. You've gotten it. You're done. All right, we're done. We're done with the scene. And I go and I sit in Video Village, and I just felt horrible. And everyone was sitting there in silence, and Fred Savage is sitting there in silence. And this is kind of how it went down from there.
So I'm messing with him throughout the day because now I was starting to get a little like pissed that he was acting. By the way, he had every reason to, but I think I was just adding on to it at this point. And I was walking behind him when he was sitting in the director's chair looking at the thing, and I made a joke. I was like, I'm just upset because everyone thinks that I'm the guy from Boy Meets World. And he was like, and like as if I was him, and he was like,
You're like, as I sat there
Yeah.
in my chair, I thought to myself, why am I directing this show?
Yeah.
Like, it was so funny. And he got so upset.
Yeah.
And then Logan said, I said, Logan, why don't you do your impression of Tom Cruise? That's when it happened, the Tom Cruise jumping on the couch thing. I was like, why don't you do your impression of Tom Cruise? And, for Fred. And so Fred was like, all right. And so Logan did his impression, and Fred was like, all right, whatever. And like looked back at his notes, and then Logan said, hey, I hear that you do a great impression of Ron Jeremy. And he said, I don't. And he goes, oh, no, that's right. You're just a big dick.
Yo.
And everyone was like, oh, we out. You know, like.
That's a wrap.
Yeah, that was a rough.
My favorite still is Another Savage, though.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
Savage Steve Holland.
Savage
Steve Holland.
He's a legend.
Great guy.
I mean, look, I love all the directors we had, like Judge. Jonathan Judge was amazing too.
Of course, yeah.
But Savage Steve Holland is just the coolest.
Yeah.
I loved his booze humor. I think that was my
God,
favorite
he's so
part.
damn
I have an
funny.
original piece of his artwork hanging on my wall.
Really? What
Because his
kind?
first job in show business was he drew the whammies on the game show Press Your Luck. And I'm a huge
wow.
game show nerd, and he drew me a whammy on the back of one of the pages of the script.
like the little red guys.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I have that framed hanging on my wall.
Yeah, he was awesome. Jonathan Judge was awesome. Stuart Schill, Sky Shot, super awesome.
Guy shot. I bought an amp from him. I actually still have an amp.
an amp?
A Fender Princeton.
I thought you said
guitar
an ant. I was like,
Yeah, I bought an amp from him.
well, that's an interesting purchase. Must have been
$900.
$900. It's a very small ant.
Yeah.
Good Lord. No, everybody. David Kendall and Jonathan Rosenbaum and Paul Lazarus and Joe Mendez and
Joe was a great guy.
God.
Yeah.
Henry Chan.
Henry
Remember
Chan. I was just about to say.
Man, did he have a hard time with
Yeah.
us? We were a bunch of
It was
assholes.
us and the language barrier.
Yeah, that was all tricky. And then, of course, Carlos Pena, the greatest director.
that's on
we've
there?
ever had. Yes, it is.
Oh.
You better believe it. Here's a question.
That was
Here's
great.
a fun one for you. When you got to perform at the White House, because we just talked with Joey Fatone about performing at the White House. Were you alone, or was it just Big Time Rush, or was it other bands that were there performing as well?
When we
Or did you
sang in the White House, it was the kids. It was a first annual kids state dinner, and we were the entertainment for that.
Get
for the
Wow.
night.
out of
Yeah.
here!
Which was four songs or something like that.
Incredible.
Oh my
So-
God!
But I had a moment when we actually met. So we met them before, right? So we had
What was the first time? Tell
the
me
first time we met was Worldwide Day of Play.
Right.
And that was when we went to the White House. We played ping pong with Michelle Obama, which was pretty crazy.
Did she beat you?
Yes.
Did you let her win because she's the president?
Yes. No, actually, I take that back. She was really good. I mean, I'm serious. She was really good at ping pong. She probably is one of those kind of like secret ping pong players. It's like, there's always that guy who's like, I'm actually really good.
Yeah, sure.
So then we met him for the Christmas event, the DC tree lighting.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I met the president there for the first time. We like went back in the thing, and they had like a tent, and everyone who was performing at the thing went and met, and they would shake hands and take a picture. And I gave a nice compliment to the first lady's mom, so the first grandmother. And I said, like, don't you look lovely tonight? And she was like, oh, thank you. And then when we were on stage, I remember looking at her because she was in the front row. And I looked at her and she made eye contact and I winked and she was like, went like that. This woman's probably like, I don't know, 85,
So
90
Kendall,
years old.
did you
at
or
the
did
time.
you not hook up with the first grandmother?
But that one, no. I'm not even gonna go there with that. You could probably get in trouble for even making
Yes.
a joke
Yeah.
about that. Anyone listening and from the NSA
Did not happen.
It was
Come to
not,
my house.
It was not me.
Go to
It was
Matt
Walker
Walker's
saying
house.
Matt Walker's fault.
Open your file on me and just add another
Go to
entry.
his house. But I wanted to tell you the story. We went for the ping pong thing for the Worldwide Day Play, and we're in there. and We're waiting for her to come down. They had the whole thing kind of set up, and then I had to go use the bathroom. So I'm like in this bathroom in the White House, which was, by the way, pretty cool bathroom, like old school. And I walk out and I'm like, there's all these scrolls on the wall. So I'm like, these scrolls are pretty cool. Like, and they're all rolled up. They're like, attached to the wall, rolled up. So I'm like,
Can you
pulling one
pull
out.
them
So
Yeah.
I'm pulling one out, and like looking at it, and it's a map of Germany, circa World War II.
Whoa!
And I'm looking at it, I'm like, wow. And I hear, hey! I look over, and the guy goes, don't touch that. just like that. Like, that's the dumbest thing you could have ever done.
Why would you do that?
Yeah. He goes, that's old. And I was
Yeah.
like, I'm sorry. I didn't think about it. But I will say, I did take a couple of the paper towels from the White House bathroom.
Very nice.
Whoa.
Yes.
Did they have
Because
like
they were nice monogram paper
monographs?
towels.
Wow.
Jeez Louise.
Where are they now?
Probably in a box with other random shit. I feel so bad.
That'll be great though. You'll find it. You'll look at it and be like, this is all flowing right back to me.
Yeah.
That'll be
You
This
gotta-
really
napkin.
nice.
That's like those things you gotta have.
There's that
framed and
booger.
stuff. There it is.
There it
There it is. That's insanity, man. So, when you did Worldwide Day of Play, were you with other musicians or other people? Were there other?
Well, we had
famous
all the
people
other
and stuff?
Nickelodeon kids with us.
Right.
And
Did you interact with any with the iCarlys and the McCurdy's and those folks?
You know,
the Victoriouses?
You know what's funny? So first of all, never really saw Miranda Cosgrove more than 5 times.
Right.
Just super nice. You know her. She's
Yeah.
the
Now
nicest.
James
Very
used
nice.
to hang out with her.
Yeah, she's literally the nicest person in the world.
Sure.
So she was always wonderful to see. Jeanette McCurdy is hilarious. So
God,
I
is
always
she
liked
funny.
seeing her, but I never got to see her probably about as much as Miranda.
Yeah.
But we saw Victoria all the time because she opened for Big Time Rush for a while.
Oh yeah.
And I mean Ariana before she was Ariana.
Yeah.
Dude, I just ran into her at Universal. I was walking around on the back lot with this girl that I'm friends with at Universal, and we're walking around, and I go, "Oh, that's where they're doing Hairspray." And as I say that, Ariana Grande comes out to like go to her car, and I go, "Hey, Ariana," and she goes, "Oh my God," and like ran over, gave me a big hug, and was like, "I haven't seen you since I was a kid. I was so lit. Oh my God, so
You're
great
like,
to see
you haven't grown at all.
I was like, "You're still a kid. Holy crap!" And then the girl I was staying there with was like, "You know Ariana Grande?" Like she almost shit her pants. She was so freaked out.
That's always a weird thing to explain to somebody, right? Like when I was at Coachella, this last Coachella, I ran into Louis from One Direction.
right.
And I was a little worried
Oh my
because
God.
I told you that we had opened up for Bieber. We talked about that, opened up for Bieber.
Right.
Well, I saw him not too long ago at a concert, and he either didn't remember me or didn't care to.
Wow.
And it was really embarrassing for me
Oh,
because
damn
we're
it.
all in the same business, you know. So
Yeah.
I felt like we should all be able to talk. And by the way, like, I mean, talk to anybody, right?
So
I
Ken,
just
are you
was-
saying that One Direction are the assholes that have
So
always thought they are?
no. Actually, so what I wanted to say was we were at Coachella,
Just say yes.
right.
and
No,
we're at Coachella.
Bieber's the
Bieber.
asshole.
Bieber.
You thought he was.
You didn't hear me say it. He's not an asshole. He just wasn't nice to me
No,
that
that's
night. But I was a little disappointed because I'm a fan too, by the way. I
Sure.
really love his music. So anyway, we're at Coachella and I see Louis, and I'm thinking I'm not going to say anything because of what happened the last time I saw someone super fucking famous, and it was
Right, yeah.
miserable. So I like was continuing to walk by, and then I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm just gonna say hi. And
Yeah.
so I was like, hey, what's up? I tapped him on the shoulder. I was like, what's up, dude? And he was like, oh, what's up, mate? Hey, and give me the biggest hug. And I was like, see, that's how you're supposed to greet someone. Like, we had great fun
Yeah.
times together.
Yeah, you guys
You know?
toured
Yeah.
together.
Yeah, so it's like,
Didn't you guys tour? You guys did tour together, right?
yeah, they actually opened.
Yeah.
They opened.
Wow.
They opened for Big Time Rush. Yeah.
Now,
What a bizarre. Wait, hang on a second.
Yeah.
We can't just let that slide.
Yeah.
When they were opening for you guys, I remember that being like kind of like oh yeah, Simon Cowell has this like new thing that he's trying out. It's
Remember
like a
that
boy
too.
band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember hearing the name and going, I guess I haven't heard of it. Like,
Yeah.
maybe I need to look it up. And I remember looking it up. I just remember I did think it was a bad idea to put 2 boy bands together.
Yeah.
That's what
Joey Fatone would
yeah,
agree.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, when
Yeah.
Joey Fatone was on, he talked about how they always had a rule where they would never perform with other boy bands. They would have Britney Spears they did shows with, they did shows
yeah.
with Christina, whatever, but never another boy band because they felt it was too.
Yeah, of course it
much
is.
the
2
same.
conflicting audiences, by the way. Yeah.
And then they would do this thing. I started seeing it on Twitter where there were fans of One Direction who were coming to the show and then they were leaving and not there were fans that would not stick around, and then it became like a big fight
That
on
sucked.
Twitter. That must have
It
sucked.
sucked, yeah.
What a crazy
Yeah, warming
bizarre-
up for your headlining show and like 2,000 people are leaving.
What a
Yeah, it's
fucking
like-
weird
It's-
situation to have happen.
That was a weird time. That actually was honestly the beginning of a lot of tension for us because it kind of felt like, I mean, to be honest, if you're having a company represent you and then the company that just got done telling you how amazing you are
yeah.
then attaches another boy band that they're going to use to, like, I mean, they were going to be big no matter what.
Yeah.
Like, it was blowing up no matter what.
Right.
But it definitely helped
Yeah.
to come to America on a successful tour
Right.
that was already sold out.
Oh,
So
man.
for me, that was sort of the beginning of I think for all of us, that was the
Yeah.
beginning of the musical tension with the powers that be. And it's a big
Absolutely.
reason why I'm independent 100% now.
Yeah.
Because look, could I go and solicit like a deal? Yeah, but after all this, like, I mean, it would be 2 days worth of conversations. But like, after enough experiences of that stuff, you say, you know what? It's about me being creative. It's not about like trying to be the most famous person in the world.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Mental health, man.
mental health.
Yeah.
Mental health. I feel bad for a lot of these entertainers sometimes because they definitely do. If they're under like a 360 deal like that, they're getting like, I mean, like I said, first world problems, but they're getting run ragged for sure.
Yeah, but like I remember watching, like walking into the writers' room on that first in that episode when they were like, we have to mention that One Direction is doing really well. We got to mention it on the show. We have to do fake billboards and we have to make it an episode. And I was like, why?
This is a bad idea.
Why are you doing this?
They were literally showing the actual takeover happening.
Yeah, and you're like, guys, just don't mention it. Just what do you? Why? Why?
Your
give
TV
it,
world is not the real world.
You know, a lot of people don't know this, but there was a period of time where Nickelodeon was soliciting
A show.
One Direction.
Yeah.
Jeez,
For a show.
For a show.
Because they did.
Man.
They
so
did
that was,
iCarly, right?
imagine that. That's like that for your like pride and joy band who is like the head of your network. It was kind of like, really? Like,
Well,
you wanna-
also Nickelodeon really screwed big time. Because look, okay, they say the Kids' Choice Awards are voted on by kids, whatever, but we all know that's nonsense. Like they pick who they want to have do whatever, and they really kind of screwed the show Big Time Rush on the Kids' Choice Awards time and time again.
Yeah.
Like you're their big franchise show, and like they wouldn't even nominate you for Show of the Year, like not even nominate you, and it's like
You know what I think is interesting is like Disney. Look, we all know Disney is like really good at what they do, right?
Yeah,
and
right.
Disney is the kind of company that goes, we're going to have the RDMAs, but you're joking if you think that we're not going to give mostly awards to our people.
Of course.
Like,
Sure.
you're kidding yourself because they're smart and it's a
Yeah.
business.
Yeah.
And Nickelodeon they should be mostly fair, but they should also, be promoting their brand. I mean,
Yeah.
how about this? Let me step away as a consumer
yeah,
and step in as like if I was running a network.
Yeah.
right.
That's what I would do.
I completely agree with you.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a fair thing to do that, especially when you're like, oh, we're gonna nominate these. There were years there where we were like killing it,
But
and
think
they
about
were
this.
ignoring it.
This is the funny part to me is if these awards are what you're talking about, right, where they're pretty much picking them for their own reasons,
Right.
then why wouldn't they?
Yeah.
That's the part that freaks you out. Like, well, if they're going to pick it for their own reasons, then the main reason should be we should promote our number one show.
Right.
And if they're not, then wait,
Maybe they were
what's
using
going
that-
on? And so it just was like there was a lot of craziness. Man.
There was a lot. It was weird. I mean, look,
do you think that was part of their pursuit of One Direction to get them to sign with them and do a show and all that kind of stuff?
it could have been,
Most likely,
man.
So
yeah.
calculated.
Dude,
It's
look,
smart business, but it's
Can I-
just it's tough.
Can I ask you on top of that?
Yeah.
Like, are you mentally like? Do you care?
Am I
at the
stable?
time?
I
Yeah.
think.
Like, I mean, do you care? Or are you so busy and so
At the
inside
time,
of it that you're
oh,
like,
man,
oh, go.
He knows I was a squeaky wheel. I was.
Yeah.
It's still the person I am now. Talking about it the way that I'm talking about it now is the way that I was talking about it then.
That's great.
And I got a lot of flack
yeah,
from mainly the music side. People at Nick didn't really ever mind if you spoke your mind about how you felt.
No.
They would kindly just say, "Well, that's just not how it is." But Sony would be the ones where they got mad at me. Like they were like, because I would speak out for my band and like represent my band and say we deserve better.
Yeah.
A lot of what you might or might not be hearing from this so-called leaked audio from the girls, from
Right.
the Fifth Harmony girls. It was a lot of that conversation.
Well, look, even though we joked a little bit in the beginning about where Fifth Harmony, like about their being like the way that they're being treated and stuff like this.
It's so hard being rich and famous.
Yeah, but that's
They're
the
not rich
no,
and
but
famous,
That's
though.
the problem, though.
I know, yeah.
That's the Matt.
They're
Somebody
famous, but they're not
else's.
rich.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but Matt, that's the problem. You look at NSYNC and the situation that they had.
Yeah.
Those guys had they had been touring for 2 years. They had a 10 grand in each of their bank accounts,
Yeah.
and they were owed millions, but they weren't. It wasn't being delivered.
You want to
'cause
hear
people were
tricky?
getting-
You want to hear
screwing
some
them.
tricky business?
Yeah.
These girls are probably upset because they're playing radio shows all the time.
Yeah.
And you don't
Oh.
get paid to play radio shows
Yeah.
because it's considered
promotion.
promotion. But the label is benefiting from the deal, but the girls aren't. And it doesn't matter if it's a lot of money, but I know if you told those girls, "Hey, we'll give you a couple $1,000s for these radio shows just to grease
Yeah.
the wheels," they would be much happier. But
Yeah.
Of course.
there's just there's a
Now,
Yeah.
a
talk
level
about
of greed.
financials. Big Time Rush. I'm not going to ask for specific numbers, but did Big Time Rush set you up like you and the other three primary members of the band? Did it set you guys up to where like you don't have to work again? If you don't want to?
Absolutely not. Like the complete polar opposite of
Okay.
that. Yeah. Like
Like you did well.
we used to joke about it. You remember Glickman? We used to joke and say that it's kind of like if you owned maybe one and then 50% share of another 7-Eleven. You know what I mean?
Sure,
Mhm.
sure. It's
Like
about
that's
that.
a good that's a good business.
Good
right?
business,
Like,
yeah.
Like, in the guy who owns the 7-Eleven, he's doing pretty well.
Yeah.
But he's not.
Yeah, he's not wealthy.
He's not
he
rich.
needs to keep running the 7-Eleven.
Yeah, that's what Big Time Rush was. Where it's like, you know what? I can never complain because it would be ridiculous for me to complain of what we got paid. We got paid really well compared to most people in the world.
Yeah.
But compared to the business, it was
you didn't
horrible.
walk. You didn't walk with millions in
No.
your bank account.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Does the
not.
fame make
And
up
the
for
fact
it?
that we got screwed so fucking hard by SAG-AFTRA on that.
No
well, it wasn't
residuals.
SAG. It wasn't SAG.
It's just
sorry.
a contract.
After
It was AFTRA that had screwed us on the deal where we get no residuals.
What?
Which, by the
So-
way, it was the #1 show in Italy and in France, and it just had a gold record. I just found out
What?
today a gold record in France.
Yeah.
Big Time Rush.
So-
That's why you didn't even join after for like a year. They kept getting on your case.
No. 3 years. You know about
They had
this?
to
Do you know
pay
about
penalties.
this? First season, AFTRA came and knocked on my door. AFTRA called and said, "You need to join AFTRA because you're not in the union. That the show's in the union. You're in SAG, but you need to join AFTRA." And I said, "No, I'm not joining your union." And they were like, "You have to. It's an AFTRA show." And I was like,
Well,
hard-
fire me from the show, I guess.
like,
yeah.
hard pass.
Yeah.
Not doing it, guys. Your union sucks. And I was like, whatever. Second season, they go, whoa. Stephen still hasn't signed with AFTRA. You need to pay the membership to become a part of the union. And I was like, right. Yeah, still not doing it. Still not going to do it. Third season, they came and knocked on my door and they were like, you owe us thousands and thousands of dollars.
Yeah,
in
SAG
past-
right now is $3,000 if you join.
Yeah, now SAG-AFTRA are a team.
Yeah,
now
yeah,
it's
yeah.
together.
Yeah.
Now they're a lot better, and they're trying currently to fix that issue that we had, which is the no residual thing. Like they're trying
Which is
to.
the most insane.
It's such a fucked up thing to do.
You guys are like Bob Denver. Never got any money.
By the way,
Gilligan's
I
Island
just
after that.
realized this whole podcast went to just like being like, shit on everything.
Shit. Well,
I think
here's how we're
people
gonna
like
bring
that.
it back. Here's how we're gonna bring it back. Robbie, are you still here?
Well, wait. There's one more question I have to ask that people
Robbie,
on Twitter.
get over here.
Listen,
Come over here.
Kendall, before you go, we have to
Here,
ask
you
this
stay
because
there.
otherwise we will be murdered by people on Twitter.
No.
Have you guys ever discussed, and would you be open to getting back together as Big Time Rush and doing some shows?
We have like discussed it.
Yeah.
But the thing is that it's just not as. I don't think it's as easy as just being like, you know what? Let's get the fellas
get the
back
band
together.
back together.
Let's get the boys back
Yeah.
together
Well,
and do it again.
because Big Time Rush itself, the name,
It's owned, yeah.
is owned by other people.
Yeah, you know, there might be. I doubt it. There's ways where you can get around it,
Sure.
but
They'll spell it TYME, and there'll be a Big Time Rush tribute band.
Yeah, big herbs and spices.
Oh, by the way, that story that I tell in my stand-up act and have been telling for years about me, with Snoop.
Hyperventilating into
Hyper-
a paper
hyperventilating
bag.
in a bag. I always tell that story, and every time I've done it since I started, I've always said it was just me alone in the room because I didn't want to get anybody else.
Like you would
in
be
any
that
trouble.
cool to be hanging out with Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, no, 100%. Kendall was in the room, and so was Logan, and it was the four
let's
of
put it
us.
this way, I wasn't hyperventilating into a paper.
And you watched
That's
me
great.
hyperventilating.
I drove you home.
You did drive me home while I cried.
While
I believe.
he cried
Yep.
and said, I can't feel my hands. I think I'm dying.
Yep.
I got a phone call when he
That's
couldn't
true.
feel his hands and he thought he was dying.
And I said, what the hell is wrong with you? I remember telling you this. What the hell is wrong with you? We just smoked weed with Snoop Dogg. Like,
You were like, that's the
I'm driving
greatest
home
thing.
like shaking my steering wheel like this is the best
You're
thing
like,
that's
the best
ever
thing-
happened.
And I was like, I just can't. I'm
I dropped you
freaking out.
off. I remember I thought I might have to walk you into your apartment.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was
Oh,
like
yeah. I was
think
a mess.
Your roommate came to grab you.
I was a complete
Unbelievable.
and total mess. That night, you know what I ended up doing? Hang on a second, Matt. Just relax. All right. Jesus Christ.
You made Robbie put on headphones that aren't even plugged in.
No, I didn't. Take
That's
them
what I'm-
off, you fat
That's what I'm
bastard.
trying to point out.
Jesus Christ! All right, here's what happened. So here's what happened.
I'll tell you what happens, Robbie.
When you dropped me off that night after we all smoked weed with Snoop Dogg,
Yeah.
I go up into the room and I start to relax. After I watched TV, I started relaxing, and then I was like, I'm gonna make some chocolate chip cookies. And so I pull out the pan. I started making. I got the mix together, and I make the chocolate chip cookies, and I put pistachio nuts in the cookies. I just do the whole thing, and I ate like 3 or 4 of them. I had a whole tray full of pistachio nut cookies. I ate like 3 or 4 of them, and my roommate walks in and he goes, "What are you doing?" And I go, "I'm eating pistachio nut cookies. It's so delicious. You want one?" And he goes, No, I'm going to bed. Good night. He goes to sleep. I wake up in the morning, and the cookies I had made had plastic in them and shells. And I'd eaten a bunch of them, and it did not feel good later when it came out the other side. All right, so Robbie is sitting here with us. Robbie, how are you?
I'm pretty good.
Okay, Robbie, here's what's going to happen with Robbie is Robbie. Oh yeah, you can give him your mic. That'd be nice. Here, I posted on Twitter and on Instagram for fans to ask some questions, and I picked out a couple. And so I'm going to point at Robbie, and I'm going to say the name, and then Robbie is going to read the question, and then you can answer it.
Okay.
Okay. And we'll kind of do it in a speed way because there's tons of them.
All right.
All right, here we go. Ready? First one is from Emily Loves BTR on Instagram.
What can we expect from the new HEFFRON Drive album?
Thank you, Robbie, for that question. The new stuff. Well, I actually have some new developments. It's the next year's going to be interesting. We're going to be putting out some music in the very beginning of the year, and then we're going to be putting out some music in the middle of the year. So we have to get to writing for that stuff in the middle.
Mm.
What's it going to sound like? Awesome, like Americana rock.
I love it. Now Thanya, what is that? Thanya Nagayan.
Nguyen?
Yeah.
She says,
Gwen.
Gwen.
Oh.
Gwen. She says,
Can you be my daddy?
and then she follows that up with,
How fun is it in the HEFFRON Drive?
no, that's weird. No, not that one. This
Wait.
bottom one here. There you go.
Oh, does Kendall hang out with the other BTR members?
Yeah. Can you be her daddy? And also,
You know they call me dad a lot for some reason.
Can you be
I
my
think
dad?
it's because yes. Do you need one? I can. Yeah.
I'm a great sugar puppy.
you don't, Kendall, you don't want to tempt this guy.
So,
It's going to get weird.
Are you a lap dog or?
Kind of, and then and that my face will be in your lap.
Oh no,
All the time.
No, Robbie, bad Robbie.
said
Okay,
he
all right,
answered
all
the
right.
question.
Dark.
Do you hang out with the BTR guys? You still hang out?
Yeah. I just saw Logan 3 nights ago.
Okay.
Like I said, casual wine and burger night.
Okay. No, I like that one. I like that. How about this one? Yeah, they already asked. Any tours planned?
Any tours planned? Yeah. Well, first of all, Mexico in mid-January. That's Monterrey, Mexico City, and Guadalajara. And then I have shows in Moscow, St. Petersburg, Amsterdam, France, Italy, and Zurich.
Amazing, man. Oh, dude, Mazel Tov. That's
So
huge
you're going
deal.
to Mexico and Russia. How tight is your security team going to be?
There's none.
Oh my god.
Maybe I shouldn't say that on the air. I'm bringing a ton.
I'm coming with you. Don't worry about it. You're going to be fine. All right. Now, Anna M1227 says, and she is from Bulgaria. So can you do an accent? Can you do? Go for it.
Maybe. How is he? And is this important? Really? What does he think about Bulgaria and come to us?
Yeah, so
Well,
that's a real
it's
question.
actually, I don't know how she's.
It's a horrible
Yeah.
accent.
I've just offended everybody in Bulgaria.
Sounds
Yeah.
just like her.
What do I think about Bulgaria? I know they film a lot of movies in Bulgaria.
Mhm.
They film a lot of horror films in Bulgaria. I know that, and I'm sure it's a lovely place.
Are you
Although-
gonna go? Are you gonna go to Bulgaria while you're there?
Probably not when
But
I'm.
you're gonna be close. You're
Yeah.
gonna be close. She should go find you. Okay, here's another one. This is from Blame Henderson.
Favorite song he's ever been a part of?
I've ever been a part of. We covered "All I Want for Christmas,"
Oh yeah.
and we actually sang it as closest to the Mariah version as we could, which was quite a chore for 4 male singers. It was difficult, but that was a great song. Yeah.
I have a question. Don't you think wanting a
You-
person
you
is
don't
really
get-
selfish?
You don't get to ask questions. Here, guess who does though? Kaylee Toast on Instagram got to ask this one.
What was it like to be separated from BTR and go separate ways? And how is it working with the crew in BTR?
Kind of got the crew out of the way.
Well, just the crew. By the
Please.
way, I'm also saying there was a large crew. And how many
Yeah.
people do you see right now, Glickman, every now and again that were on the actual crew?
Oh, I run into guys every once in a
I
while.
know. And
just
how weird
wanna-
is it, by the way, if you don't necessarily immediately remember, Yeah. Because there wasn't many. But
Yeah.
there was always those 2 or 3 guys on set that you just did not remember their name.
Yeah. I always just go, "Oh, you," and I kiss them.
Yay!
I kiss them on the lips.
Yeah.
that helps.
Oh, you. Yeah.
What was it like for you at when it ended, when the band ended and the show ended, and
Oh,
you
yeah,
guys had
that
to
was
go
the
off
question.
your separate ways? Yeah. What was that like?
It was I had already been working on music, and it was a gradual thing because eventually there just wasn't another show. Remember, it was like there we had a South American tour, and then we played our last show in Guatemala,
Right.
of all places,
Oh my
and that was it.
Yeah.
And then it was just HEFFRON Drive from then on. Like, you didn't even have time to think. I didn't take a vacation or anything.
Okay, here's a good one. This is from Hop Aboard the Logan Train. Good Lord.
That sounds like a great weekend for me.
Oh my God. What did they ask, buddy?
What was the best Christmas gift you got as a child?
I was a big Legos kid.
Mm-hmm.
I liked assembling things, creativity like that. Yeah.
Did you
Yeah,
ever go to
like that.
Legoland when you were like a teenager?
Yes. I
did?
actually did a Legoland commercial.
Did
when
you
I was a
see
kid.
Stephen Glickman working there when you were there?
No, but
I was a security guard there.
What?
I could have been security.
When you were there?
I could have
Maybe
been.
you bet.
I
could have
filmed a
been-
Legoland commercial there.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I could have been being fired at, like, you could have been there the same day I was getting fired
Yeah,
at Legoland.
I could have been smoking weed in the back that same day.
Okay, how about this one? Saul Mazaki from Instagram says,
What is the most he loves about his fans?
Well, I think obviously is the fact that they still support is the number one thing, and your money.
"Oh my God, damn it, Matt!
Matt.
Matt's the worst person. If you're mad at Matt, don't forget to go to
MattWalkerSucks.com.
MattWalkerSucks.com. I'm going to
Just give
tweet
him
that.
shit. You
You
should,
should.
because he's the worst person.
No, but then
I
I'll be
know.
giving him notoriety, and that'll be worse.
Yeah, that doesn't help. It's like One Direction all over again. It's the first time Matt's ever been compared to One Direction.
By the way, what he said is totally fucking untrue. By the way, I just want to go. I was about to say we're about to carry on with him just ending my sentence with that.
no way.
Do not listen to a word he says.
Yeah,
He's got red
guys.
hair. Don't trust him.
There you go. There we go. How about this one? XXX GGX Wong XXX says,
Did you ever Googled yourself? So yes, what is the most embarrassed thing that you ever find?
Well, it's always like Kendall Schmidt height or Kendall Schmidt age.
So what are the answers to those?
Well, 5'11" and 3/4 to be specific.
okay.
How-
I'm not 6 feet tall.
How often do you Google yourself?
Never.
Like, just kind of take a day off and
Never.
Do you
KY
want to know how
jelly,
often I
Google.
do?
Any age?
Do you want to know how often I Google myself?
Daily?
I Google myself every single day.
I bet you do.
At least once, if
I know
not
you
twice a day. Because I have emotional problems. Let's see real quick. I got a couple. Do you mind if I do like two more and then we wrap?
Yes,
We'll wrap this up. Okay.
please.
They asked, do we want to make Big Time Rush but with puppets?
I think that actually is a good idea.
Yeah, I would do that.
You know, it would be a huge television
you do
show.
You
God,
do
that
the
would be
voice
so
of your own
great.
character. And
Yeah, that'd be a
I'd
blast.
like to do the
Um,
voiceover stuff is legit, by the way. I'm proud of you. Proud of you.
Oh,
Yeah.
thanks. Thank you for being so supportive and coming to the premiere and
Yeah.
hanging out and all that stuff. That was awesome of you to
Well,
do that.
what was it
You're
like to get invited to a movie premiere for your friend?
What was it like to meet me? What was it like when we met
Dude,
for
that
you?
suit you were wearing. I remember saying,
Oh,
doesn't
yeah.
he know he's not supposed to wear white after Labor Day?
Yeah, no,
pretty
I
bad,
really dress like an asshole most of the time. But you know what? I learned it from Gustavo. If there's
Yeah.
one thing
Yeah.
I learned
You took
from
the wardrobe,
Gustavo,
that character.
I stole the entire wardrobe
I'm
and
sure
all
you
my
did.
shoes.
Is it in storage?
Oh no, it's all in my house.
He wears it.
It's all at home.
I have some things that I got from Big Time Rush that like they were getting rid of, and they're just like, you're the same
yeah.
size as this entire boy band. Take whatever you
Yeah.
want.
Dustin got some shoes after that. I remember that.
Okay. All right, here we go. I'm gonna ask a question or two from Twitter, and then we're wrapping this up because good Lord, do they ask a lot of stuff, but it's a lot of the same stuff too.
Yeah,
which
it's
is-
always, can
say
you
hi.
follow me?
Or say hi.
Yeah. Kendall, have you? This is from Maslow Music. Hashtag Maslow Music. Kendall, have you purchased more camel's milk, or have you ordered other milk from different animals? What does that mean? What does that mean, Kendall?
Yeah, you can get camel's milk. I saw that on the
It's
internet.
actually really good.
Really?
Did
It's
you?
really good.
Is this
You've
a
had
real
camel's
thing?
milk?
Yeah, I ordered it.
Is that?
Did you talk about it online or something?
I did. I talked about it on Zach Sang's show. And
That's
I
so
actually brought a
great.
bottle, and they all tried it.
Oh my
Wow.
God.
Yeah.
Kendall, what was it like being a guest on the very first nighttime show?
Do you know that this is a real thing? You were the first guest that we ever had on the nighttime show when it was the Tom Green show.
Oh yeah, but that was the Tom Green show.
yeah, but we.
That's what became the nighttime show.
well, because we did that show, I walked away from it with Matt, and everyone went. And Robbie was there. You remember Robbie was there,
Yeah.
naked, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Why aren't we doing this
Yeah.
as a show? We should do this."
And because you did that show, Tom Green no longer has a show.
he doesn't have a show anymore
Yeah.
because of how insane the numbers were. I know it's going to sound messed up, but because of how the numbers were when you came on that show.
This is gonna sound messed up enough to edit out later. For
Yeah,
sure.
we should cut it out later.
Yeah.
I mean, look, it's not because of that, but it definitely upset them that they were getting phone calls
Yo,
2
I
weeks
get it.
laite
Kind of like having a bigger boy band open for your band.
Oh, shit. Yeah, we probably should cut that out.
Yeah.
Hi, okay, couple small ones.
Sure.
I'm just having too much fun with this.
We can do this again, by the way. We don't have to,
Oh yeah.
when you're doing more episodes, I'll come back.
Oh well,
Sweet.
that would be amazing.
I got one while Stephen
Go
looks
for it.
really quick. How did you feel once Big Time Rush was officially completed?
Like, how did I feel? Oh,
Like,
well,
were
it
you-
was a weird feeling because it was never an official, like done.
You never get answers.
No. Well, the thing is that the last episode was such a lack of a finale, I felt. And, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people worked really hard on it, but it just didn't look like a finale to me of a show that was so successful.
Mhm.
It was like an afterthought finale. So for me, I was kind of a little bitter about it because I felt that it was all this, it's like putting in a ton of work, making a souffle, and at the very last moment you let it deflate. It's like all that
Yeah.
work you put into something. Now, this was a lot more work than a fucking souffle, but it was like a little frustrating that the end episode was like, and it's over.
You're like,
and I was like,
the
oh.
It
end-
happened to
it was-
Seinfeld too. So
know, it's
there you
Well,
go.
the last episode was you guys winning basically a fake Kids' Choice Award
Yeah,
the
and-
same year that we weren't nominated as a series
Yeah.
on the same network.
Yeah,
It's a little frustrating.
yeah,
You're like, what are they doing? That was so weird.
yeah.
That was
I just
very
remember
weird.
crying at the end, being like, "Oh, this is over," and then also that was a shitty ending to this whole
man.
thing.
What a weird. What do you expect from the future? That's from Marika TYSM Kendall.
Like I said before, if
Sex
there-
robots.
sex robots. If there is not aliens or some amazing thing in that happens, I'm just gonna be super disappointed. Like I'm
Yeah.
waiting for something cool, Harry Potter shit to
Yeah,
happen.
something
There's
magic.
something magical,
Come
man.
on,
There's
bring the
too
magic.
Much, you know what it is? There's too much crappy news.
I know.
Like I just want some fun, cool stuff.
I
So
want
that's
cool
what I'm
stuff
hoping for
too.
the future. But what does the future hold for me? Music and I mean, ideally, just a long career, not just in music, but in other stuff too.
I'm with you on that.
Are you going to be the new
yeah.
coach of the Rams?
Yes,
What you're saying?
they need
Okay.
it.
Okay, and then the final question of the night. Bianca Addison has asked.
Hey, Bianca.
Hi, Bianca.
We all know Bianca.
We all know Bianca.
She's everywhere.
By the way, we all love Bianca.
We
by
do
the way.
all love.
Yeah.
She's
She's like the
wrote-
number one super fan.
Number
like
one
she's
fan.
everywhere.
I would venture to say number one fan.
Yeah.
Okay,
Just start over again. By the way,
Bianca Addison.
no, even now, start over and
Here we go. Last question. Bianca Addison has asked, telepathy or teleportation?
telepathy's moving stuff with your mind, or being able to read someone's mind.
Mind reading.
Yeah, mind reading.
That's what it is.
Telekinesis is moving stuff with your mind.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Being
Thank
able
you,
to read
you
somebody's
fucking,
mind.
You fucking nerd.
You're so nerdy. Wow. I bet you have a lot of figurines at home.
Yeah.
I actually don't.
Okay.
No,
okay.
it's just, he just watches Star Trek.
He just wants to-
I watch 3 hours of Star Trek every day.
What would I find more useful?
Telepathy or
Teleportation. It's
Teleportation.
easy.
teleportation? All the time. All the
100%
time.
Partly because I don't even want to hear people speak that much anymore, let alone know what they're thinking.
I don't even
you
like
know?
people.
Yeah.
I don't like people. People suck.
You'd have to hear what I'm
Fuck
thinking right now.
2016.
Yeah, it was the worst. It was the worst year. But let's talk about one last thing. You got Happy.
Yeah, Happy.
This is your company that you started with your brother, and
Yes.
you have some wonderful people involved.
We have some
in
great. I hate this. Such a stupid word, influencer.
It. Yeah,
Like,
but there's
I gotta be
people
honest.
that are
I
involved.
know, but it's just like it's a really crappy social networking
Yeah.
word. We have people that other people seem to like that really like the product. They're gonna help us promote it. But yeah, long story short, influencers. And yeah, it's a company that my brother and I started, and it's an all natural and organic skincare line. Like basically like a competitor to like a monthly subscription thing you may know that's
Dollar
on
Shave Club?
television all the time.
Sure.
And I find products that are all natural and organic to be much better for me, and it's really great because I like get to use a product that I'm responsible for, really put together. My brother was really like the lead of the thing. He's
So what's in the
unbelievable.
box?
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
Should we film this? We should film this. Right?
Yeah, you want to film it?
Yeah.
Just open the box. You don't need to film it.
Yeah, no. Get film. How do I look? Am I handsome?
Sideways is better. Sideways.
Sideways is better.
Wait, start it over there.
Landscape with your videos. People. Landscape. No more vertical video, bastards. Turn your phone sideways.
Yeah, I know, right? Here we go.
Hey. All right, here we go. All right, I'm gonna pop this thing open. This is Happy, right?
Happy
Okay.
face kit. That's a happy face kit.
Happy face, natural and organic. All right, we're opening it. Oh, it's very nice. Look at this. We got this little thing here: clean, scrub, and heal. So there are 3 different things that come in the box, and it's very nicely packaged. Show Kendall so everybody knows. Look at Kendall. Look what he's done. Look what he did.
So proud.
There's the Happy face bar. It's all natural, all organic.
And that's a zinc-based soap.
Oh my god, it smells good too.
It's really good.
That's really nice. You're gonna give me a facial?
Yeah. I'll give you a facial.
Can I get a facial?
Yeah.
I'll give you guys all a facial. Just give me a few hours.
Perfect.
Kendall's Facial Club.
This is the Happy Scrub, all natural, organic, moisture, heal, and share. This is so you put like a little bit of it on your
Yeah, it's like
hand
it'd be
and
like
then you rub it in?
exfoliate, but that's not every day. That would be every like on your face, by the way. It would be every 3rd day.
So where do you make? Oh wow, where do you make these? Where are these made?
Well, there's a woman that we partnered up with who makes that stuff herself. She's had a family business forever.
Whoa!
Yeah, all made in the USA.
All right, and this is the last one in here. This is the Happy Natural and Organic Jelly Moisture. This is
That'd be like the moisturizer at the end. Yeah.
Wow. No chemicals, no perfumes, no synthetic additives, no animal testing. 100% bioactive.
100% fun.
Wow, that's really cool, man. Dude, this is amazing, and I'm so happy for you because you should just take a look at that. Look at this is a beautiful box.
I mean, with some nice black confetti in there too.
Yeah. It's very, very well put together. Good for you guys for making. I wish you all the success in the
You can
world.
have that one, by the way.
Can I really?
Yeah. Do you
All
wash
right.
your face?
Every day?
I'm serious.
I'm a very oily person. I have to
you
wash
do
my
wash
face
your face.
every single day.
Then you will love that.
I will, man. I
I'm
will
actually
love
really
it.
excited because sometimes you give stuff to people and they, thanks. Like I have buddies
no,
that
no.
I know they don't wash their face.
Oh no! I'm
Here
a
you
face-
go.
I have stuff at home I use sometimes for things, but I try. You
have beautiful skin.
Well, you remember I did not have beautiful skin when I was doing the show with you. I had a horrible back of my head was always a mess and it was horrible and you had to stand
It
behind
helped
me.
that too, by the way.
And it was bad news. And then I got a girlfriend and she has products and she used to put them on my head until my
Isn't
skin
it
looked
amazing?
better.
Isn't it amazing how when you get a girlfriend, you just clean up?
You can stop filming, Glazer.
Yeah.
No, but seriously, you're gonna love that. You're gonna love that stuff.
I can't thank you enough.
I like
man.
actually having something that I get to use. Sometimes you pimp stuff that you don't actually use, but
Yeah.
that's like
that's
like
great.
it's my jam
Well,
or my
listen,
jelly.
This has been an absolute pleasure. This is
Stupid. I'm sorry.
he's so
Comedy's
bad.
hard, Kevin.
I know.
I love it.
I
Look,
just told a really big dad joke.
getting a chance to sit down. We always get a chance to hang out. We see each other every once in a while and we talk on the phone and stuff. But getting a chance to actually sit down with you and chat about your career and your life and everything that you're doing, it makes me very happy.
Oh,
so thanks, Kendall. It means the world to me, pal. Tell me. Tell these people where they can follow you on the
interweb?
YouTubes and the Twitters and the stuff.
Well, of course, YouTube would be HEFFRON Drive.
Mm-hmm.
I have a YouTube as well, but definitely check out Heffron Drive's YouTube. HeffronDrive.com is the easiest place to go to find anything because it's just all located there.
Sure.
But new music's coming out, and I have a video coming out along with a new single early next year. So people should get excited.
January?
And I mean early.
Oh, nice.
Oh, so we're talking
Very-
January 1st.
No, I'm not-
Rose
well,
Bowl,
it's not January.
halftime.
Yeah, no. There's too many distractions on that day.
No, you better
second.
get that shit in there. Let people hear it.
Yeah.
It's amazing. You're so insanely talented.
Thank you.
I can't thank you enough for coming out and then of course and you know, guys, thanks so much everybody for writing on social media and sending us so many fun questions. You guys are amazing. Don't forget to subscribe to the show and listen to the show, repost it and stuff, so other people can get a chance to listen to
Yeah.
these wonderful
If
and
people
awkward-
don't listen to this, like they're
Yeah.
losing out.
They are losing out. Absolutely.
And if people don't listen to this, they don't hear that they're losing out.
Absolutely.
I'm not listening to it.
Oh, Matt, you're the worst person I know. Matt, tell people where they can find you in the world.
Go to
God.
funnymatt.com. I have links to everything there. Or you could tell me what you really think about me at mattwalkersucks.com.
Yeah, and they will, and they have.
I'm going to that website when I get home.
Oh, you should see the things that the fans have written about Matt.
I haven't had anything good in a while.
Because he
People haven't gotten mad at me.
during Big Time Rush, you know, he would just write horrible things about
I
people.
know.
Yeah, it was great. I loved it. I loved it.
There's always-
Mike Glazer, what about you? Where can people find you?
Follow me on Twitter at GlazerBooHooHoo and watch True TV's Hack My Life whenever that comes out because I'm writing jokes for it.
That's awesome, buddy. What about you, Robbie Carlisle?
I have to ask one question.
Go for it.
And this is a really personal and sexual question.
Oh,
Kendall.
okay.
Can I have a cookie?
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
Yes!
You can have my cookie anytime.
Oh,
Oh, that's very sweet.
And you can also have some of those chocolate chip cookies too.
There we go. You have how many? I know that we're wrapping up, but how many tattoos do you have?
9.
Can you name them off? What do you got?
Yeah, there's the one on my wrist, which is like a bracelet I always used to get from the fans all the time. And then I have a heart on my sleeve, which is like a stitched on heart.
Right.
A pair of boots. My grandma's nickname has always been Grandma Boots, so it's just boots for her.
Sure.
Something for my grandpa, same side of the family. Then a South American tattoo with a music note in it, like outline of South America.
Sure.
A peace sign on my back, Scorpio M, a big eagle clutching a rose, a sugar skull.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it adds up after a while.
Wow. Good.
I'm going for more though. I have one guy that I'm now sticking with. That's my guy. And
He's exclusive.
Chad Coplinger. Chad
It's getting
Coplinger, by the
serious
way.
between Kendall and Chad.
Yeah.
They're very serious.
Chad. What's Chad's last name?
Coplinger. Koep. Like it's in Koeplinger. Coplinger.
Awesome.
Look him up on Instagram. Great
Yeah,
stuff.
check out his stuff. He's amazing.
Shout out, Chad.
Kendall, we absolutely love you. You can always get me at Stephen Glickman, STPHEN Glickman on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and don't forget to subscribe to the Nighttime Show podcast and tweet about it. I love you guys. Thanks for